All right, guys. G'day. This is Dave from Finralia out here in Finland. And to all our brothers and sisters in the building trade, I salute you. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror. I get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I tell you, I'm a hell of a man. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble, but I'm doing the best that I can.
Thank you,
How the
David.
hell are you, Manny?
I'm good, man.
Chat with you.
I'm good. Thank you so much. It was a pleasant surprise to see your message come in going, let's do this. Let's get this done.
Yeah. How many years ago, mate? It was a few years.
I don't know. Maybe a week or two, I think it was.
Yeah, man.
No.
You know, I mean, this construction life, I've lived it, buddy. I've lived it since I was 12 years of age.
How young are you? How young are you?
53.
Oh, you're my age, man. I'm going to be 53 in a few weeks.
Have you ever been called a dirty old man?
Not yet. I'm looking forward to it.
That's the only thing I got left.
I'm going to live up to it. That's what I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm waiting. When does that start? In your 50s? Is that what happens?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I bleed into it. I try everything and everything. No one's actually turned around and said, you dirty old man. But there is a prize. There is a prize waiting, you know?
Well,
so how the hell are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I'm glad that you're on the horn here. You're in Finland. What part of Finland you in?
I'm down in Kotka, mate. I'm 60 kilometers from Russia.
Oh, really? Yeah? You just kind of weekend trip? You just take a little road trip over there?
No, mate. No. I sit here, mate, and I'm waiting for those rascally Russians to pull their finger out, and we're ready. We're the first line of defense as soon as they come through Finland. We've beaten them before in Finland. You know, Finland beat the Russians, eh?
Did they? Yeah. How far back are we talking about
here?
War. Well, you guys have so much history over there. We hardly have any history here. We're just creating a negative future here. That's what we're creating on this end.
Dude. Mate, the Finns probably started your place, you know?
Probably.
You look at any of your traditional log cabins and that stuff you got over there, a lot of them would come from the Finns, all right? This place, they know how to build.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, man.
Back in the old days.
Yeah.
Back in the old days.
What's it like today?
Mate, all right. We build as per manufacturer's instructions.
What exactly does that mean?
Well, what it means is what materials you're going to use. Well, let's start at it from this way, mate. After the First World War, you wanted to build a house. There was 57 different products you could choose from to build your structure.
Yep.
Right? Now there's 57,000.
Yep.
I've seen the whole evolution. I've seen shit come and go. I work on old buildings here in Finland, and all of the bad damage comes from the 80s and the 90s, where these bad products were introduced into the houses and bad techniques of bad tradespeople. And it causes so much shit with mold and fungus and bad stuff. Now we build to manufacturer's instructions, right? You're going to use this product here. How do you install it? You ring up the manufacturer and they tell you how you install it. Well, who makes the manufacturer's instructions? Someone that works for the manufacturer.
Not someone on
site. Who does all the engineering for that? Yeah. Some bastard that's getting paid by the manufacturer.
Yeah.
We've worked out that the rest of all these multinational bastards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not really above board. How is it any different in the building industry? You know?
My biggest question with that is, why is it that a group of people that are not in the building industry telling the building industry how to build?
Well,
how does that fly? I don't understand how that flies.
Well, it's very funny because there's those that can tell you how to build, and then there's us that build.
There's two different groups.
You know? And I've built things, and then I've rebuilt them because they failed. And that was 25 years later. That's not a bad shelf life on a terrace. You know,
we're getting ahead of ourselves there, David. Let me share the information so people know who I'm speaking with, so they can remember and send all the hate mail to me. But I won't mind because there ain't going to be any hate mail, man. So David Myers is here. David at Finnralia.fi. You can find him on IG under Finnralia. Is that, how do you pronounce it? Finnralia. Finnralia. You consider yourself a professional building contractor operator in Finland. That's what you do. And I love that you say, do it right, do it twice, or do it twice.
That's actually the WTF guys. That's their logo. We just branded their shirts with our logo.
Yeah.
But to do it once or do it twice, no. Because to do it twice, you've got to take it apart. That's another job.
David, does it frustrate you? Because I know that you tackle a lot of projects that were built in the 80s and 90s. And you are uncovering a mess. And then you have to fix that mess with today's technology or today's procedures or today's codes, today's everything, which is still contributing, in my eyes, to the mess. Because we're not understanding that we need to go a little further back in time to understand how things were built, and they still stay standing, and they're still healthy homes. We're actually making unhealthy homes with the decisions that are being forced upon us, are we not?
Forced upon us. Yeah. On every job, there is a God, okay? You must answer to the gods. You want to work for yourself because you don't want to work for someone else. You don't want to work for a boss. As soon as you walk onto a client's house, they're the God. They're your boss, okay? As soon as you start dealing with architects and engineers, they're the God. As soon as you start getting the cities involved, the inspector, they're the God. You piss off any of these gods, there is consequences. And when you're forced to do stuff that you know is wrong, but you have to do it, that's the worst thing. And the problem is the ego shit. When you know what you're doing, and you start suggesting to the engineers, hey, well, what about we do it this way, mate? You know what I mean? You can't make him look like an idiot, you know? So there's a juggling act of dealing with these people, choosing your battles, choosing your victories. But at the end of the day, a lot of our work we do is on the hourly rate, do and charge, okay? All right? That's what I'm all about. You pay for what you get, and you get what you pay for, all right? If there's any problems or anything like that, we go back and fix them. But you can't charge when you go back to fix them. So it's got to be done right the first time, okay?
Yeah.
And if your budget doesn't meet that, I don't give a stuff. I don't care about your budget. It's the worst word on the job. Budget is the thing that makes all the difference. So getting back to being used to use bad materials, there's so many bad insulation materials. Insulation and airflow is the most important thing in a structure, okay? I come from Australia where insulation and airflow, never dealt with it, man, never. Over here, we have airflow on the outside of the structure in between the cladding and the windboard. Then we have the vapor barrier and the insulation, which our insulation's minimum 150, 200 mil. Insulation on your walls, okay, and then 300 on your floor, 400 on your ceiling. And your vapor barrier on the inside must be heavier than the vapor barrier on the outside. There must be airflow. There must be the transition. And I've never dealt with that in my time until I came to Finland. And I say to the boys, just when you know exactly how to do something and you don't need to think, stop. Think. Because there's so many different papers coming into this healthy living process. The job I'm on at the moment is rebuilding a forever home for a Finnair pilot, and it's an old family home that his father had for years, and we're going in and we're ripping it all back to the bones.
Is that the log one? The log one that's on IG right now? Yeah. And you're opening up. You're taking care of some new openings, and then you're trying to. Oh
no! I got brought in to go and do the external cladding. Okay, he's got a scaffold up. Let's go and just sort the cladding out for him. You know.
Yeah.
Well, to do the cladding, I need a structure. Okay, there wasn't enough structure there, and there was no paper in between the existing cladding and the what structure they had.
Yeah.
I could have possibly put me paper in between and start mucking around with that. There's gaps in the panel. that lets water through. So rip it off, tear it out. All right. Then you start building the structure. I need to know what's going on to the structure on the inside.
Yeah.
Is it plasterboard? Is it panel? Is it this? I need to get my spacing sorted out. And then I said to him, yeah, look, mate, I know I'm just here for the outside cladding, but I need to know all this shit. And then I started looking at the roof structure, and it was a disaster. And started talking to him about that. And he says to me, I said to him, look, mate, I know that I'm here for the cladding, but this. And he just stopped me right in my tracks. And he said, Dave, keep going, mate. This is gold. This is what I've been waiting for. The engineer come on, and he just started ovulating, because it's very rare to get a guy like me that can go into the job and can see this shit.
Yeah.
And most importantly, is incredibly humble, you know, because I've seen this shit. I know all about the point loads, all about the transferals, all about the trussification of the inside of the structure, fly purlins, all this extreme stuff. I need to know the whole picture of the end result, see it in the head, and work out how the hell is that going to happen. You ask any engineer that you deal with, man, how many times have you asked an engineer how to do something and he's answered you straight away?
Oh, he's never answered you. He's never answered you straight away.
He always, mate, I'll go and sleep on that, buddy. I'll consult the old crystal ball and I'll have some fucking visions. I'll have a bit of a puff and I'll get back to you, mate, you know?
That's exactly what it is. And then by the morning, you'll get an email with an answer of some sort.
If you're lucky,
it won't even be it won't be a fulfilled. You know? Yeah, it won't be a fulfilled answer either. He still expect you to figure something out. What I was going to say, David, is that you're the first person on site discovering what nobody knew about.
Yeah,
everything up until that moment.
We're doing now.
Yeah, everything that's up until that moment has been speculation. This is
a very interesting point. This is a very interesting point. So you've broached before about micromanaging, and this sort of stuff and everything. And no, just let the tradespeople come in and let them do what they want to do. They're professionals, right? Unless you work out they know what the hell they're doing. They're not professionals in my eyes. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. And you are only good as your last stuff up, and that lasts until you stuff up again. Okay? You must have, the only way to build properly is to have an extremely competent carpenter.
Yep.
On the job from day one, full set out of the whole job. He marks everything out. Concrete comes in, does his formwork, does his shutter, and whatever he does, check, carry on, carry up. All services, it's the same thing. Carpentry leads into any other trade that you want to get into.
100%.
And there's not many things in the building industry and the construction industry that I haven't actually done, seen, or know about, right? And you've got to know what the next trade needs and how he does it and how it's finished and insulated, for instance, the air ducting and so forth, right? And if you don't provide him with what he needs, he'll just start chopping out whatever he needs to chop out to get his thing done, because he's in there on a price.
Yeah.
And when you get the concreter on a price, the carpenter on a price, the bricklayer on a price, the air guy on the price, plaster on a price, and everything. How do you get unity? Because I'm only interested in getting in and out as quick as possible. The only way to do it is on the hourly rate. Is it expensive? I don't know. I don't bother myself with facts and figures, mate. I find it just cheapens the whole affair. That's not my job. I pay people to worry about that side of things. My job is to get... The only thing I can control on the job is the atmosphere. Morning, boys. How is it? Let's go, our building warriors. Team together, get whatever needs to be done. And what you're paying for with Finnralia is whatever problem we come up against at any point in time. You know, 6:30 in the morning, some dad brings you up, his kid's sick, you can't get in the truck and go to work. That stuffs up the other two guys sitting in the truck. Right, that's sorted out while we're going to work. You know, phone calls, rescheduling. Then we get to work, you've got 2 foot of snow getting in the driveway, shovel your way into the job site. Then you get there and the windows have been dumped, unpacked, cover that. You know, we care. Working on someone's house is the most honourable thing you can do, Manny.
Right, I agree.
It's the most money that majority general people will ever spend in their life. you know?
The biggest amount. Hey, homeowners and businesses, are you looking for top-notch tile and stone services you can trust and count on? Consider the expert tradesperson behind the Tile Guy GTA, Omid himself. He takes pride in delivering quality service and professional installation on time and on budget. From mosaics to large slabs to custom niches and miters, the Tile Guy GTA has you covered. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Omid and the team at the Tile Guy GTA are your go-to professionals for all your tile and stone needs. From full waterproofing solutions of every possible product to the finish, grouting details, even a hint of design recommendations when the client needs to hear the truth. Call the Tile Guy GTA today, 647-716-5062, or email them at thetileguy.gta@gmail.com. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
It's the huge, and there's fuck all of them that have actually got the money. They're all borrowing the money.
Of course.
Right. So it's an honourable thing, and I'm not about the politics. I'm not about the budgets. I'm not about the I'm about the procedures, mate. That's why when you see on my Instagram, mate, you don't see the finished shots, because I've spent my whole 40 years as a hired gun. I go in, I do what needs to be done. I do the jobs that other guys can't do, can't handle. I do the stuff that I would never ask anyone to do something I haven't done or wouldn't do myself.
Yep.
I'm not your standard foreman. Foreman's pretty much just a working foreman. Even a working foreman still has to do paperwork, still has to do, liaison and meets with this. I don't do any of that shit, mate. My job is to get the job done. And this one that I'm on now at the moment is a full healthy living project. There's no plasterboard on the job. There's no plastic on the job. There's the right paint on the job. There's the waterproofing. We're going right back to traditional Finnish techniques. And if you get a chance, Manny, on YouTube, there's a great video of building a traditional Finnish log cabin. And that is done by axemen. And that's what I am in Finland. I'm an axeman. And an axeman is a structural carpenter,
I want to ask
are you still building?
I'm not building anymore. I haven't built anything in about a year and a half now.
You're weak.
I'm too busy with this show, but I got a lot of respect for you guys and what you're building, and I see it. I want to ask you, David, is I get that you're an axeman, I get that you're a builder, but I get the sense that you give me a percentage here. When you're on a job site, when you're on a project, how much is about the people? And I'm talking about the homeowner, the crew, the trades, and how much is it about the construction?
I'm all about the people, buddy.
I know.
I read the people.
I know.
I read the people. This pilot that I'm working for is about the same height as me, about 6'4". I've moved the position of the bathroom upstairs, and the architect's put it in on the rake ceiling. It's put the toilet where he'd have to sit down to have a piss. No man deserves to be forced to sit down to have a piss. Now, if you want to sit down to have a piss, you sit down to have a fucking piss. But I won't make it. And I've put that whole bathroom on the long finger. And this is the thing about being a specialist that goes in. If I go in there just to do the cladding and then I can't do the cladding because the framework's not there, what am I supposed to do? Jump in the truck and piss off and go somewhere else?
No.
I build the wall, and we do everything. So you've got to read the people first thing in the morning, get the pleasantries out of the way. Morning, Manny. How are you, brother? How was your night, mate? How's the baby? Get the fucking pleasantries out of the way. Say good day to all the boys. My whole mantra buddy. I don't know what sort of. I got serious fucking mental issues. Like, don't get me wrong. I can understand all of the crazy fuckers.
No,
right?
if everybody else is no, you might be the sane one. Everybody else is a crazy one. It doesn't mean that it's the other way around.
What is normal?
Exactly.
What is fucking normal?
No.
But the thing is, I'm all about. I was talking with Villiam, my business partner there, and my life partner. Is she's like, I'm all about making the people that make me happy. If you piss me off, I'll go out of my way to fuck you over, man. You know what I mean? Like, you want to play games? Oh, I love playing games, mate. You know, I've worked construction. You clear the whole site out. You're ready. You got your set site. Trucks turning up. You're ready to drop. Some other fucker comes in and claims your turf.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you know? Yeah.
That's how it's going to be, huh? And then we're off to the races now. That's how it's going to be.
And I mean, I noticed you watched the video of where we were pushing those big logs up through on the scaffold.
Yeah.
That was the painters giving me a hand. Now, if I was a dickhead and
you'd be doing it by yourself.
Oh yeah. But if I'm a character and I'm there's you
got an army behind you. You have an army behind you, man.
Yeah, a good on energy. I can pull the whole team together, buddy. I've done some phenomenal acts by being the way I am and getting things done. I had a Lewis job. I was doing a tram track in Ireland, okay, and I was a banksman, the head banksman, and my ankle was playing up. And we're on a weekend shutdown to get this big turnout put in. And I built the turnout, and it was a very intricate position. And I turn up there, and the surveyors haven't done their pins. If I haven't got a point to start, I can't do anything. Yeah. I need a point to start, you know. And things got backlayed. I got 50 Dutch guys come over from BAM to help with the process and everything. Everyone's sitting on their ass. I started swinging the track in, and my ankle was playing up. And this guy took one look at me, mate, and he jumped up and he started slinging me loads for me. I tell the boys, it's all about the ultimate goal is to know your profession good enough for the guy standing beside you to look at you and say, Manny, can you come and build my house for me, mate?
Yeah.
Can you? And if you can't get the respect from the tradesmen around you, we don't have people winging us up willy-nilly like to come and do work. We have 30, 40 people. We're their builders, Manny.
Yeah.
If they have anything that needs done, we do it. And then that branches out to an immense network. And we do the building show where we go in, and we did 8 years of going into people's summer cottages and ripping them apart and filming the whole process. And it's the biggest and the best building show in Finland. Right? We did it for 8 years. Now, there's only one reason you get invited back to those shows, you know? Like you said, a renovator or a reno actor. Do you know what? You actually need to be both, Manny. You need to know what the fuck you're doing, but you got to entertain them as well.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
But are you the norm, Dave? Are you the norm there, or what? Or is there a bunch of up and coming young tradespeople that are not seeing the same passion here, not seeing the same rules, and understanding how much value there is to do it this way, to do it the right way, the best way?
I'm an absolute exceptional animal here in Finland. I'm an animal wherever the fuck I am. But in Finland, the Finns are a very peaceful bunch, mate. They're, get a couple of drinks in them, different story. But they're very calm. You'll never hear Finns start roaring and shouting. You know, there's a very slow process and a methodical process for the building. And you know, like how can you tell when a Finn's excited?
How?
Oh, mate, that's exceptional. Jesus Christ, calm down, buddy. You're going to fucking wet yourself, you know? How can you tell when a Finn's pissed off? What the fucking say?
They're analytical, I guess. They're trying to figure out the paperwork and how to connect it to the 2x4, the piece of lumber.
I thrusted on the boys. I got my young boy is coming through the ranks. He's doing great. and you know, like the youngins and stuff. You know, people have got a problem with the this young generation. It's always been the same, man. It's always been the same. The only difference is the media now, where you hear about this shit. You know, I I I demand that they communicate.
Yep.
I don't want to hear okay, 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 and then when you fuck up, oh, because I got a massive language problem. I don't speak the language. I can't read plans. I can't do anything, and I still do what I do and am where I am, and I rely on my little Finnish ambassadors to translate and make sure I got the right food to put into the place, and nothing's a problem. And I say to them, look, there's no point saying okay, 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 and then turn around at the end and say there's a language barrier. Well, you've said okay pretty bloody well, mate, you know? But the younger generation, it's very interesting. So there's certain aspects, it's standard stuff. If you, I've been sitting here for 15 minutes, you know, waiting. And if you're not early, you're late, okay?
Well, that's how it is, man.
When you go for a job interview, what are you going to do when you go for a job interview? You have to be able to sell yourself. You've got to be a salesperson, all right? If there's 100 people going for the job, the only way you're going to get the job is if you can sell yourself, all right? So, like I say, buddy, half gorilla, half beaver, half fully trained SEAL, and certified mathematical genius, mate. You've got
That's
to have
communication right there. They got to have communication without ego. Communication without ego will get you far.
Now, ego, you've got to have a little bit of ego.
A little bit.
The attitude. The attitude's a little bit different to the ego, you know? It's very interesting to work in a team. When you work in a team, I've been running crews since I was a second-year apprentice. Really, wow. my story is phenomenal. My story is unbelievable. But I was running crews. I've had two. I started a second-year apprentice for this guy, and within two weeks, I was running the crews, and that was because I was trained by a Maltese family business that built schools, and we went in and we dropped the trees, we pushed all the topsoil to the side, we did all of the groundworks, we did all of the steel and the formwork, and then when the steel boys come to do the big high steel, he pushed me with them. I did that. The roofers, had a bit of a play with them. On the weekends, I was working with his son building houses, and I did 7 days a week for years. You know, I saw it as an absolute training, and I was the worst apprentice ever.
Why do you say that?
Manny, what's the marginal degree of error on this? What the fuck do you mean? Well, how fuck's too fucked before we've got to pull it out? And he's like, Jesus, Dave, just do it perfect. And then the next thing, well, what's the marginal degree of error on this one? And I drove my tradesman nuts. And then it ended up that I was buying him 2 beers a day because of a situation where we did a private job, and my mate's dad gave me a 6-pack of beer to give to me tradesman. And the labourer saw that, and he says, oh, well, why are you giving Angelo beer? And Angelo said, oh, for me to teach Dave all the drills, skills and stuff that he needs, he gives me 2 beers a day. And that carried on for another year where I had to buy him 2 fucking beers a day. And
not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad because there was no Google. There was no YouTube. If you wanted to learn, you had to find an old master that was prepared to teach you the tricks. And when there's tricks within tricks.
Yep.
And a good tradesperson deals with the resources around them to the best of their ability. But sometimes the resources around you aren't enough. You got to stop and you got to get other stuff. And if you can move on, I like the big jobs where I got everything. I got everything. I got the whole fucking job. And we start doing this, I hit a snag, I got no material. I just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I've already got 2 guys getting the base ready over here, ready for me, and I'll just turn up, do the quick stair layout for them. There you go. Carry on with that. You know, you got a high pitched roof with a big gable up on with a big valley on the top, which the boys don't know how to do cut in roofs anymore. Let them do all the standards. As soon as I get the valley in, there you go. That's that one. And then I walk away and I teach them, I train them, and I fucking love it. I love it. I love it. That's the business, man. If I could just get it like the old workhouse days, you know, where the kids could just stay in the fucking place from when they were fucking 5, 9 years of age, spend their whole time learning. And by the time they were 15, they were fully trained, Manny. Fully trained. And then you start your journey of being a journeyman.
I think it would be amazing. The only thing I would change there is that I would tell the kids, we're going to build this house. We're going to build this project. We're going to take care of everything. We're going to work together as a team. We're going to make this happen. And you're going to keep your head up at all times. You're never going to have to look down at a device to get an answer. The person beside you, in front of you, behind you, those where all the answers are. They're not down in that device.
Everybody makes mistakes, all right? Everybody. You'll never know if I fuck up. I won't tell you, right? I just fix it. I just fix it. But you'll hear me carry on like a fucking baboon all the time. Oh, Jesus. Ah, shit. And you'll come across, look at that. It's perfect.
How did you figure that out?
You know what I mean? I just carry on when it's perfect. Because as soon as you start carrying on the job, all eyes carry on. What the hell's going on here? Oh, it's perfect, mate. I don't know if I could do it again, you know? and then when a good tradesperson gets out of it as quickly and efficiently as possible, I'll let the guys make a little boo-boo, you know?
That's how you learn.
I've already assessed that it's going to take them half an hour to fix it and stuff. And yes, we're on a job on an hourly rate, but you know what? Part of that fucking hourly rate and that whole process is learning how to make mistakes. Is it right for the client to pay for someone to make a mistake? Do you know what? I take my car to the mechanic and it comes back just as fucked as when it left. And I'm paying €120 an hour.
They're charging.
At a dealership.
Yeah.
You know, they got stupid workers out the back. You know?
I know.
So the young guys have just got to learn, and this is the very, very important one, Matty. If you were scared of starting to do something you've never done in your life before, you'd never do anything, would you?
You would never have accomplished anything at all. Protect your investment one drop at a time. Your home or project deserves the very best when it comes to waterproofing. Trust nothing less than the service that guarantees you peace of mind and lasting protection. Meet Antonio, the expert behind AquaStop Waterproofing. Whether you're a homeowner wanting to keep your basement dry or a contractor in search of a reliable partner, Antonio and his skilled team deliver unparalleled quality and service. From the first site assessment to the final backfill, every detail is handled with precision, ensuring your project is completed on time, on budget, and to the highest standard. Antonio's team doesn't just solve problems, they prevent them. With a proven track record of working with insurance companies, educating clients, and using the best products available, AquaStop Waterproofing offers a solution you can depend on for years to come. Experience the difference with a team committed to excellence. Antonio and AquaStop Waterproofing are your go-to professionals for all things waterproofing. Get in touch with AquaStop Waterproofing today at 647-631-4144 or visit them at www.aquastopwaterproofing.ca. For direct inquiries, email Antonio at aquastopwaterproofing.ca. Let's make sure your property stays safe and sound, rain or shine. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life. Construction is the same. Building is the same.
This is the first podcast I've ever fucking done.
You've never done one before? Why?
No.
Why not? You been?
Mate, I got me. I go 150 kilometers one way from Kokko to Helsinki in the morning. I work a full shift. I sort out the shit on the way back home. I do another 150 kilometers home. As soon as I get home, I go into my workshop and I start chopping and changing and doing shit. And then, you know, by the time I watch a bit of YouTube or do a bit of Instagramming in the late evenings, mate, you know. But it's Vilia, my business partner. She takes care of all of this stuff. You got to get her on the show.
I'd love to get her on the show. We'll book another one. We'll get her on the show and we'll talk.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. I told her father, she's the best man I've ever worked for. She's my boss. Yeah. She knows all of the traditional skills. She deals with all of the people. She has a phenomenal spider sense. If she goes and has a meeting with somebody and it's not right, we don't go any further. We wish them the best in their endeavors and we move on. At no point in time do we work for anybody that we don't feel comfortable with.
So that's value. Huge.
That is, man. I learned a long time ago, you can sit in the pub and lose money. You don't need to work for that privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of taking on work just to keep the guys going, that's where the majority of builders go wrong.
Yeah. I want Dave. How many places? How many countries have you worked in? Have you built in? How many different places?
I'd say probably 5.
Have you gone back to Australia to build anything there since you left? No. I've been gone from Australia for over 20 years. Okay.
Now.
And then how many different people have on the crew? Is everybody local or is everybody coming from different parts of the world?
Oh, we're full multinational, man.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So where's everybody coming from? Where are they all the different parts of the world? Where are they coming from?
All right, I got Sangi, my little carpentry ninja. All right. He's from Nepal.
Okay.
And he came to me as a cleaner. And I've taught him everything he knows and given him the confidence. And now he's a set and forget soldier. Mm-hmm. Set him up with a van, whatever he needs, fuel card, go, do your thing, Sangi. And he does all of the stuff. And like, we're not doing just carpentry. We're doing whatever.
Yep.
And absolutely, we only specialize in 2 things, Manny. Anything and everything. That's the only 2 things we do. All right. And then I've got, what else have we got? So we've got Vilja, my business partner. She's Dutch, Finnish. I got my boy. He's Australian and Finnish, born in Ireland.
Born in Ireland. Okay.
Yeah. And then I got our plasterer. He's half Japanese and half Finnish.
Mm-hmm.
New guy just started with us. He's half Estonian and half Finnish.
Mm-hmm.
And then another Irish guy just started. He's an Irish bullhead. And and then as far as the girls, we're nearly half boys, half girls.
Wow.
Well, which I'd never really. I think in the first 20 years, first 30 years of my career, I'd probably seen two girls on the job site, and both of those were daughters of the leading.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting process to see that. Now, like I was saying to you, out of 100 carpenters you get, not everyone should be a carpenter.
Just because you got the fancy tools, it doesn't mean that you're a carpenter.
And then out of the 20 guys, there's 10 absolute warriors, mate,
Mm-hmm.
And then out of that last 10, you've probably got about eight leaders and good foremen and good this. And then you got 2 animals, brother. 2 animals that'll do whatever you need to be done with a relentless desire to just get that thing done. Just whatever it takes, mate. Whatever.
Just beasts.
Yeah. Dude, I started building this school, building a basketball court, and we were renovating this other section as well. And there was these 2 massive concrete sets of stairs with concrete awnings and pillars hanging off them. And I was a first-year apprentice, and all I wanted to do was get on the jackhammer and bust these fuckers out, right? And I came in one day, and 2 hard men, the hardest alcoholic men you've ever met in your life, they got the job. And I looked at them and went, oh, You're fucking beautiful, you two. And they spent a week on the jackhammer, the old 90-pounder airline busting out. And I was so jealous. I was so jealous. That's all I wanted to do, you know? And meanwhile, I was doing other cool shit, but I just love the shit that no one else wants to do. I eat it. That's what I want. And we got the best. Every job I have is the best job in my life. All right. Have you ever had anyone cry for a job that you've done, Manny?
Cry?
I'll specify. Tears of joy.
Have you ever had I've had glassy eyes. I've had glassy eyes. I've seen that, right? Because they were happy that they made the right selection. They were happy that the right people came in. They were happy that everything lined up properly. Yeah.
And that brings us to like, why do you do what you do? I don't work for money. It's a byproduct.
Yeah. Part of.
It's a byproduct. You do a good job, you get paid. Working man will never go broke. All right? It's when you jump out and you start playing with this other shit, that's when you're going to lose everything that you just fucking work for, man. A working man will never go broke. So anyway, doing that TV shit, and that's good because they don't see the progress. They only see the end result.
Yep.
I've had tears, and lovely Leah were my first set of tears. She waited 3 years for me to get back to finish to do the main house on the summer cottage. I went in and I tried saving it. I couldn't save it. And then I got tears of disappointment. The whole client brief was, Dave, I just want a house where I can sit there with my grandchild on my lap and they don't cough. That was the client brief to me. I couldn't save the house. The decision was made to demolish the whole structure and start again. The only thing she was concerned about was, Dave, will you build me the new house? Yes, Leah. Yeah.
Why couldn't you save the house? What was the reason why you couldn't save the house?
Number one, black soil underneath the granite footings.
Okay.
You can't. I got rotten logs up top. I can fix that. I got rotten logs down the bottom.
You can fix.
Yeah, well, that's a double kiddo, right? Then I got a whole section of the bedroom that I wasn't allowed to touch, but I was finding shit here, so there's shit there, so I can't live with leaving that, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like the granite. As soon as you got black soil under the granite, you're going to get heaving. So why the fuck are we spending any more money up above? And then the only thing he was concerned about was whether or not schedule.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good position to be in, Manny, you know? So anyway, we were having all sorts of shit, Manny. There was big dramas with my partner and I and everything, but I'd made a promise.
Good for you, man.
So anyway, we finished that one. And I said to the boy, that's the best house I've ever had. That's the best job I've ever had. Then we move into this Bin Air guy. Ollie, this is the best house. This is the best job I've ever had. And you look at me, fuck, every job you do, that is the best job. It's fucking oath it is, mate. For different reasons.
Yes.
Now, I've got the best job I've ever had in my life, which I start next week, where I have to go into one of the most famous houses in Finland, in Helsinki, that is right next to the train track. And this old anarchist man bought it from the city when they were going to demolish it. And it's a 4-story log structure with the basement's 1 story, 3-story log structure. And it's got 4 terraces hanging off. The pictures are in the Instagram.
Yep.
You'll see this.
Yeah.
And the whole terraces are falling down. Okay. And For 27 years, the city has been saying, fix that house, fix that house. And he's been going for 27 years. And then he passed away. And now the children have got the house and they have to fix it. And we got invited to go and have a look. And even to just get the invite money, that was cool enough.
Yeah, just a walkthrough.
And no, just the invitation to be recognized as competent enough to handle a project like that. We're talking full museum listing, heritage listing, whatever you want. Like, the whole structure is documented. I know every single piece of this terrace, and it's all a specific timber with specific fixings, with mortise and tenons and half-lap joints and big molds that must be recreated and reproduced. And we cannot demolish the whole lot, because then you would need planning permission. And if you get planning permission, you cannot build it back to the museum standard. And the museum outweighs the city. Mm. Who in their right mind would want to fucking touch that, brother? Who in their right mind?
When are you starting that one?
Next week, buddy.
Oh, how long is it going to take? What do you got scheduled?
Oh, that's going to be a long story. We've done a full structural report where you go into the log and you drill a hole and it pulls out a sample, and you can do a test to see how deep the log structure is stuffed and whatever. Because if a log structure, 50% of the log is still okay, you can carve it out and patch it. It's very, very, very
patching it. And how are you adhering it to the existing? How do you connect it to?
You connect it by drilling holes and putting timber dowels in.
Really?
Yeah.
With the same, as long as it's the same species wood.
Same species, same stuff, and even up the top, whatever timber we can save, whatever you have to, and it's still falling down now. I can't send the scaffolder in there. I can't send the crew in to put the scaffolder out.
Why not?
Because there's still pieces falling off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. They can be quick. Nah. There's only one way to do it, and that's to open the door to the terrace on the bottom floor, go out, put a prop, put another prop. Then I'm safe for 1 meter. Then I go to 2 meters, and then I go to my final support. And I'm the only one that I'd let do that. Don't worry, the boys can still cart all the shit up for me. Don't worry about that.
Start it. You'll get it safe.
Yeah, I'll get it safe, and then I jump on a cherry picker and get up the top and start peeling off all the dags that are just about to fall, and then I can let the scaffold crew come in and do a scaffold. And that one there, I'd imagine there's a good couple of years' work. And then you start moving into money. Villiers, every path that Villiers led them down, they've followed. She's incredibly knowledgeable with a lot of these traditional techniques, with the grants from the museums, this one. Even start a GoFundMe page for the place, because there's so many people in Finland that are passionate about these old structures, like extremely passionate, I mean, you know, with the way architecture's going now with these boxes that they're building and shit, mate.
Soulless. Introducing Alt Labor Solutions, the game changer for contractors and laborers. Are you a contractor needing skilled labor, or have labor in need of quick shifts? Or how about buying, selling, or renting tools, material, and equipment? Connect easily with contractors and find resources hassle-free through Alt Labor Solutions online platform. Post job listings with project details, browse public resumes, and choose the right person for the job. Explore their job board for new opportunities and connect with top talent. Alt Labor Solutions revolutionizes the labor industry with a user-friendly interface, secure payments, and a supportive team. Visit them at altlaborsolutions.com and start connecting with other contractors today. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
And now in Finland, they're building a new apartment block in the traditional style, which is full granite base footing.
Yeah.
Whole basement out of granite.
Yeah.
And then Finland, all of the buildings in Helsinki, when you come over here, Manny, I'll take you for a tour, brother.
For sure.
But all of them are masonry walls are at about 1 meter wide masonry wall.
Why are they so wide?
Thermal mass.
They're using the old techniques.
Old techniques, brother. These were all built in the 1800s and stuff like that.
When winters were winter. Simple as that.
Oh, dude. And it gets even better. So when you build these places back in the 1700s and the 1800s, right? Beautiful techniques. And these buildings are still standing today. As soon as you finish building it, you move a whole heap of poor people in there. There you go. You can live in there for free. And what they're doing is, and they're drying the whole structure out with the warmth from people's breath. And then when it's ready, sorry guys, get out of here, go and live somewhere else.
It was a process
for the rich people now, you know, because it's all about that healthy living is the most important thing now. The best thing now is a log structure with all natural products, all natural paint finishes, full linseed oil paint. And you think about all of these polyurethane. This job I'm doing at the moment, I'm not even allowed to use plywood
because of the glues
in the plywood.
Yeah, the glue. So what are you using instead? What's the substitute?
Oh, as big a piece of timbers as I can get.
Really?
Does that? If one won't do it, put in two. If two won't do it, put in three. And it's an incredibly expensive exercise.
But you started the whole show because I agree with you that I think a lot of countries, and we're really bad here for it, you're implementing new techniques and new chemicals that are supposed to be doing things better, but they're not. And we know from experience they're going to fail, or they're going to create an unhealthy environment for the home, when we should technically, let's pay attention to history and go a little further back in time and try to figure out how they did it then and do it that way. But we can't do that. Why aren't we doing that?
Because all of these companies are invested in their infrastructure to produce these things. And, you know, all of these, I mean, the primary job of the salesperson is to bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the primary goal. Now, then you start moving into these marketing people. They've taken it to the next level.
That's wrapping a box with a lot of
folds. Know what I mean?
I know.
You know, and then you start moving into. I've seen building products come and go. That there was a steel beam that they had in Australia that looked like an hourglass, and it was made out of a rolled steel section. And this thing was the best since lace-up shoes. It was lightweight. It was easy to transport. You could put it all above your garage doors and support beams and all this stuff. And I was over at my builder mate's office, and I was sitting down there, and I just saw this letter on the table. I picked it up. It was from Dogbone, Australia. We deeply apologise for the inconvenience of pulling our product off the market, but it's been proven engineeringly unviable, and we're now gone. Manny, could you just imagine if you've just built 200 homes and you've got these things? Because like I build with a conscience and a pride and a passion, in case you haven't
No,
noticed.
it's there.
I need sleep, and if anything worries me, that's my undertaker business that I say to the boys. There can be no dead bodies left behind. You can't leave something in the job. When you find something, you've got to assess, right, can I fix it? Do I have to fix it now?
Yeah.
With the access that I have? Or, and how long will it take to fix? Or if I carry on forward, can we fix that after with the same amount of time or a minimal amount extra? Okay. And if you have to fix it now, I don't give a fuck about your budget.
Oh.
I have to fix it. Has that bitten me in the ass a couple of times?
Of course it has.
Yeah. Can I sleep?
Yes.
Positively, brother.
And it will bite again in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I say to Vilja, mate, because she's the one that's got in Finland, when you give an estimate for a price, which I find that hilarious how, there's always been a number of ways to do things. First and foremost is a price. Okay. Well,
yeah.
We bought a crystal ball and the bastard, I must have to send it away for recalibration. It's not fucking working right. You know what I mean? I don't do prices. Okay. I don't do it. I fully understand that you can have this software for this shit and that shit and all that shit. Yep. You can have all that shit because I'm real life. And I don't deal with things from the ground up in a green field where everything's controlled and everything. The only thing I can control is the atmosphere and the environment, mate. The weather pushes 4 hours a day of snow shoveling if we don't get the schedule right to get this done by winter. So is that part of the price for a summer job or a winter job or this job or that job? You got people going on holidays, accessing the schedules of different associated trades and so forth. Is that? No, mate. Unless you want me to make a shitload of money or lose a shitload of money, I very rarely come in bang on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you move into an estimate. Oh, all right. So how much do you think it's going to be? As soon as you spit that number out, that's the fucking price.
It's engraved.
That's the price.
It's engraved, man. I know.
And just give me a rough figure. No, because as soon as you say anything, that's the price. Well,
doesn't matter what number.
When you do work it all out and you work your estimate out, by law, you're allowed to go 15% more on an estimate price with no repercussions. You know what I mean? Like that's just part of the business.
So you go 16% and there's an issue?
If you go above your estimate, so you estimate it's 100,000 to do the job. If you come in with the final bill at 115,000, then it's just like, oh, okay. If you come in at 116, then they can start asking questions and start whatever. And that's a different topic. But or there's just do and charge, And I've always been just do and charge. At any point in time, if you're not happy, see you later.
Yeah.
I walk. At any point in time, I'm not happy, I can just walk, I've never had a contract personally. I've never worked under a contract. I've never had anybody owe me money for more than 1.5 weeks in 40 years.
You've gotten paid on every single job, Dave?
Every single job, brother.
How tall are you again?
Only been sacked once.
Just once?
I was working on a shuttering job on Dundrum Shopping Centre in Ireland, getting paid sea ash. Went down to get me pay, ready to hit the guy up for more money. He handed the envelope out the window and he said, no more work for you, big fella. I said, what's going on, mate? He says, no more work. I walked straight back and the foreman, what's going on, Dad? I've just been sacked, mate. Don't worry about it. I'll ring him up. I'll get your job back. No, didn't want it. Yes, I rang the opposition. Yep. No, mate, if you take him on, he'll be doing the same fucking thing that he's been doing for the last 3 months. Within 15 minutes, Manny, I had the exact same job back. Instead of getting paid from that hand, I was getting paid from this hand. The next Monday, 3 Albanians turned up. He got slaves. He replaced me with slaves. All right? And then the next Friday, when he turned up to pay them, he looked at me and said, what are you doing here? Don't worry about me, mate. Just kept walking, And as far as have I left jobs because the gut was twisting? Absolutely, buddy.
You have to.
If I can't get you smiling and laughing and there's a tension on the job, I walk, because you can't work with everyone.
No.
Not everyone gets along, And when you start when you start suggesting ideas and you're getting turned, they're getting rejected because you suggested them, because you've already had so many victories and you can't look better than the boss man. Then that's when the conflict comes in, you know.
I always find that it's attached to the budget as well too, especially if you're contributing to make the place better and build it properly. They want you, but they don't want your price. But there's a price associated with that skill.
See, a lot of the work I was doing when I was contract framing in Australia was we weren't giving them prices. We were told the price. Mm-hmm. You walk into the foreman's office and he just lays the parameters down and he says, right, that's $5,500. Do you want to do it or don't you want to do it? They've still got the ad going in the newspaper every week. Framers needed, brickies needed. You start doing the job and then you're looking at the plans all the time because you don't know their process. You don't know their measurements. You don't know their details for the little roof over the bay window, how you support all that shit. So you're spending time nutting things out rather than producing. And you get about 2 weeks into it and you think, I'm not going to make any money here. And then you move on. The next guy's already started on the next one. Now, if you stay with them for 10 jobs and suck it up and fight through, you could probably end up making just above wages at the end of that, you know? And then you start working for the big companies and you move from going from like 35, 40 an hour down to 15 an hour. Mm-hmm. And then I've said I was doing the big dam wall and it was like Herman the German, the foreman, I said, Herman, mate, I just got me pay, mate. That was a bit of a drop, brother. He said, oh, you're pretty good, Dave. I'll give you an extra 2 hours a day. And I said, mate, I'll give you 2 weeks notice. And he said, you can leave now if you want, Dave. I said, thanks, brother. Shook his hand and moved on, you know? So it's like,
know your worth.
Yeah, know your worth. But now this is what I'm saying to the guys in the whole humble thing. I can teach you how to be humble, but you got to be fucking good to start off with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you can't walk in and sell yourself for the job, we just had a guy tell us he could do this, he could do that, he could do this, he could drive a fucking machine, he could fuck. And then the last thing he said to visitor was, and I can juggle. And the next minute he turned up to me. I shook his hand. I reached down, grabbed 3 pieces of gravel. I said, juggle. And he couldn't fucking juggle.
Gone.
Gone. I think I gave him a week. He couldn't drive a machine. He was sitting the machine on idle. Like, what was this heavy machinery you're driving? Oh, I drove a forklift, mate. Oh, fuck. Oh, you worked with your dad. What was your dad doing? Oh, he makes guitars and furniture. Fucking hell, buddy. We're building a fucking house here, mate. You know? Like,
he sold himself out by saying I could juggle.
If you can't perform like a trained fucking SEAL, with saying the stuff that you sold yourself on, you know, it's like I say, if you're going to come in late and you're going to take a few days off here and there, do it in the first week. And I've done it. I went to Ireland in 2004, Manny. It was booming. Absolutely booming.
Yeah.
Standing on O'Connell Street Bridge there, looking out towards the UK, and there was 57 tower cranes in one vision. And the only thing they were interested in was whether or not you knew anyone else that wanted a job.
A lot of work.
And the first job I got was working on the revenue office, getting paid cash.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
That's ironic.
And then I moved into doing concrete shuttering. You know what I mean? Like I'd come from building schools to doing house renovations to doing contract framing on structures to uh, moving into more renovation work, hospitals.
Meet Felipe, the visionary behind Versa Homes, a name synonymous with excellence in construction across British Columbia. Felipe's passion for high-end craftsmanship, sparked by his mentor Dan Zeklin, drives him to deliver exceptional results in every project. At Versa Homes, every detail matters, and Felipe's unwavering commitment to precision ensures that each project meets the highest standards. Client satisfaction is more than just a goal, it's at the heart of everything Felipe does. He's dedicated to making the construction process smooth and stress-free, keeping projects on time, within budget, and meticulously organized. If you're looking for a builder in British Columbia who values quality and client care as much as you do, look no further. Discover what sets Versa Homes apart. Reach them at www.versahomes.com or call them today at 778-65-BUILD, B-U-I-L-D, or connect with them on social media under @VersaHomes. Versa Homes, where your vision meets their commitment to excellence. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
All sorts of projects in Australia and Sydney. And then when I moved to Ireland, I walked straight into concrete shuttering. Well, I'd never done like Perry or Doka or any of that shit. Does it make any difference? No. You just learn the lingo, find out, give it a couple of days, a week. No worries, man.
Figure it out.
And start moving into that. And then I walked into a labour hire company and sold myself there, and they couldn't get me. I was talking straight to the CEO, mate. He couldn't. They couldn't wait to get me onto a job, and that moved me into when you went to Ireland and you were cruising around the M50, Manny. All of those concrete panels that you see on the side of the motorway, those hexagonal concrete panels, the Futura panels, they were all mine. And the only reason I walked into that job was I'd spent 2 weeks doing the same panels in Sydney. And I was the only one that could talk about the scenarios of putting them in. When you put them in, you must put them in a little bit out of plumb. When you compact, they come plumb.
You push them out briefly.
When you're building a curved wall, you cannot work it from the bottom of the hexagonal. You must use the fulcrum point from the transition halfway between the hexagonal shit and the shit I'm talking. They just knew that I knew what the fuck I was doing. So I went straight into the construction site as a lowly fucking agency worker, negotiated my own pay, car, phone, overtime, all this shit, and started working. I think I was there for like 3 years. Now, if I'd gone in there as a contractor, we wouldn't be sitting here now, buddy. We're talking millions. We're like that shit. I was doing 35,000 euro a day worth of work, and I was only really charging them probably about 7 or 8. My wages was only about 500 a day. A 20-ton machine, a 5-ton machine, a 5-ton roller, a compactor, and give me 4 or 5 workers, right? And all of those workers were your lovely Portuguese brothers. And the poor bastards, mate, the poor bastards, Manny. I've been waiting to tell you this one. So the guys would be working over in Portugal. You're getting 990 a month.
Back in when? 2004?
2004, 2005, 2006.
900
right?
euros.
Portuguese carpenter working in Portugal, you'd be getting 900, 1,000 euro a month.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get headhunted by these guys. How would you like to earn 3,500 a month? And then they fly you over to Ireland.
Yeah.
They pick you up in the bus.
Yeah.
They take you back to the house where you're sleeping in a bedroom with 6 other stinky soldiers. and the whole room's full of, the house has got 20 guys or something living in it. And then they drops you off to the job with your little juice packet, an apple, and a fucking sandwich. And then at 12 o'clock, they come around and with the bus and they pick you up. And they take you to the compound and you eat your good soup and your good stuff, good meal. And you go back and you work away. And at 5 o'clock, they pick you up. And then you get your pay packet, mate, and you get €1,592 for the month. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think the airfare was for free? Did you think? And as soon as I found that shit out, because, dude, I'm just a worker, man. I'm just a slave that worked his way up to the whip, the ultimate goal. And you can't crack a whip voice like that, So production just eases back a bit, you know what I mean?
It does.
I never ask for 100%. I'm quite fine with 90. I don't want 100%. I'm not interested in feats of strength, but I am impressed with feats of endurance. And this Portuguese guy, Johnny, full language barrier, everything. He walked up and handed me this little note. It's like, what's that for, Johnny? And his mate says to me, he says, if you're ever in Lisbon, mate, ring this number. And if I'm not there, my wife will come and pick you up from the airport and you can stay at my fucking Jesus Christ.
That's how they are. That's how they are, man.
And that was just because, do you know what I mean? I could have been still whipping it. No, come on, But no, as soon as I found out that that's what they were dealing with, it's like, all right, guys, okay. But sorry, I didn't mean to push you so hard. I thought you were getting paid decent money, But yeah, it's a very, very interesting life. I've heard you talk about the construction life, and it's a way of thought. It's an attitude.
Yeah.
And I just see working on someone's house as the most honourable thing a man can do, What's the oldest profession in the world, Manny?
The oldest profession in the world, other than the sex trade?
Oh, you think it was a prostitute?
Yeah, what is it? No, it's not.
What did she get paid with?
She got paid with possessions, no?
I think she probably wanted a door put on the cave, didn't she?
Yeah. So there was a transaction. There was a transaction between two parties that got two things that they both wanted, basically.
Basically, whoever picked up the stick first and snapped it, that's a carpenter, mate.
And created an A-frame and started realizing this is shelter. At this point.
Like carpentry. Bricklayers, they didn't come in till ages,
Yeah, later on.
And then steel guys, Jesus, they didn't come in until the Iron Age, mate,
We saw all those trees. There was all those trees, and then chopped the trees down and started building things with trees. That's what happened.
I just think that the old carpentry leads you. It's once you get your tradesman's eye, once you if it looks like shit, it is shit.
Yeah.
And stuff. And once you get your tradesman's eye, and you can move carpentry into anything, man. I lay bricks. I've worked on brickies teams. I've worked on block laying teams. I've worked on concrete crews. I've worked on formwork crews. I've moved into machine operation because give a lazy man a job, he'll make it easier every time.
Yeah.
It didn't take me long to realise sitting in a machine was pretty fucking cruisy, But you got to be able to perform like a trained SEAL. If you can't operate that machine, they won't let you sit in it.
No, you got to be efficient. You got to move. You got to work.
Oh yeah, man.
Would you be doing anything else, Dave, other than this? If you had to start all over again, go back in time.
Well, okay, going back in time. Well, when I first left school, I was a male stripper, right? And I was stripping away there for ages, and I thought to myself, I need to get me. What do the women really want?
Well, I guess you went from one wood profession to another wood profession.
yeah, but I just thought to myself, what do the women really want? Oh, you build a woman something good, mate. There's
Oh
nothing
yeah, it's
sexier than
done. It's
building a woman.
done.
They fucking love a man that can build shit, you know? And I've I haven't done anything else. I mean, Jesus Christ, I could sell shit to an Eskimo, no problem at all. You know, it'd just be frozen. But I just love building, and I love the whole process of starting the day, looking and finishing the day, and going, ha 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 ha, you know. And every day I give myself sort of targets and stuff, and as soon as you meet that target, it's not there anymore.
No. So you got to find
It's not
another.
there. I just keep going.
You keep
You
going.
know.
Are you enjoying
I
the teaching process of building now?
I love it
more than the building itself.
Oh, buddy, I talk to myself, mate. I teach myself every day if I
Yeah,
work alone.
I know.
You know,
That's what I'm fascinated by it. Yeah.
It's absolutely our duty and responsibility as old warriors to pass this knowledge on to the next generation, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I got the answers for a successful business, but I will teach you how not to kill yourself and get these hands. The first thing you must learn is the hammer. My boy started with a piece of timber, 2 sawhorses, handful of nails, go. I don't want to see any wood. Left him out there for hours. As soon as you finish that, stand another piece of timber up against the wall, handful of nails, go. As soon as you finish that, put it on the ground, do it again. And then the piste de resistance. Put it above your head, fill it up. And that was the first job I ever walked into. The first day starting with my Maltese crew was doing a musical storage room where we had to hang concrete reinforcement mesh up against the ceiling joists that were seasoned hardwood timbers. And there's 5 of us swinging these sheets up, and you got to hammer a nail in and then bend it over and get it.
Oh,
I was no good, Manny. Oh, I was no good, buddy. I got kicked off, man. Get that fucking hold that bastard. Get off the hammer. You must learn the hammer. You must. Because the hammer, once you get that hand-eye coordination, it just moves into so many other things.
Everything.
And when we started, every single thing was built with the old 9 1/4 circular saw, which is probably the most anti-ergonomic tool that you could, like, it jams. Your forearm would be wrecked at the end of the day. A 9-inch angle grinder or the console. We built everything with those 4 tools. I was before battery drills.
All corded.
And the first Makita Hightower come out, and it was like, you know? And then you start moving into the saber saw. When the saber saw came in, it was like, oh, you fucking joking. Who create this magic shit? What the fuck you talking to? Because it was all the old hacksaw blade with the little... And I don't know whether you've tried to use one of them fuckers before, Manny.
They're fucking hard. They're hard.
Oh, dude, Jesus Christ. You'd end up in a pile of piss.
Yeah.
And then the saber saw come in, and then I think the pinnacle for me would have to be the multi-tool. The multi-tool, the multi-tool and the saber saw would have to be the 2 most widely used tools that I use
today,
every day.
Yeah,
every day, you know. And why it costs so much money for those? They should just give us those tools, because the amount of money we spend on blades and fucking shit for that money, it's just ridiculous, man.
Tools are designed so then you can get hooked on accessories. That's all it is. Simple as that. They want you to love the tool so you can buy the accessory. Attention homeowners and businesses. Are you looking for top-notch electrical contracting services you can trust? Consider the expert tradesperson behind Effect Electric Ltd. They take pride in delivering quality, service, and professional installation on time and on budget. From Kohler generators to main service upgrades or network data installation, they do it all. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, Carlo and his team at Effect Electric Ltd. are your go-to professionals for all your electrical and generator needs. Effect Electric Ltd. is an authorized Kohler home energy generator dealer. Kohler has air-cooled 26 RCA units, the quietest, the most powerful, and exceptionally durable generator with 109 amps max power on liquid propane. Custom color options, camouflage options, and every generator Kohler makes is built to last and is equipped with a commercial-grade engine. Call Effect Electric Ltd. today at 416-508-7725 or visit them at effectelectricltd.kohlergeneratordealer.com. Let's build something great together. This message is proudly supported by the Construction Life.
So you take your truck to the mechanic and he can charge a decent whack of money, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but he's got a warehouse and he's got a fucking hoist and he's got this machine and that machine and everything. Right? We can charge just a little bit more than half of whatever he's going, because I don't know what your hourly rate's like over there.
Oh, yeah, I know you're going. I know you're going with this. This is the sandwich board of a mechanic is generally 3 figures for the hourly rate for any work to be done. The sandwich board for a tradesman or a tradeswoman is generally half of that hourly rate.
Yeah.
But yet the shop and the tool accessory and the skill level, they're equivalent, in my opinion. On both of them, they're equivalent. So why is one getting paid twice as much?
Sorry to interrupt you there, man.
No, go ahead, man.
Show. I know it's your show, sir.
No, it's your show, man. It's your show.
I'm sorry. The mechanic's got a roof. He's got a roof over his head.
He's got a roof, door, window. Yeah, he's got everything.
He's got air conditioning or heating or like what I like to call a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got 15 cars parked out the front that he can jump on at any point in time and fucking chop and change.
Yeah.
And we're roaming the fucking streets and pulling into places and performing like trained seals in any weather condition, any
rain,
extreme
snow, ice,
heat,
wind.
And you know, and that's what I was saying with that TV shit. We got maybe not the winter shit, but rain shit and everything. Like I said to the guys, that TV business we're doing, that's not normal building. That was a fucking Iron Man competition.
No.
I got 2 weeks, I got 3 days to get that done so the camera can come to see this shit. And then when the camera does come, you got to perform like a trained fucking SEAL with the camera over your fucking back.
Yeah.
And any single bad technique that you've left anywhere is stuck out for eternity for fuckers to start looking at and carrying on.
They want you to fuck up. They want you to fuck up so they can.
Dude.
I know. They do.
You know. And meanwhile, I'm a foreigner, apparently, in a foreign land, and Vilia apparently is a female, apparently, and we're running the biggest fucking TV building show, and so many people would be like, why isn't there a Finnish man doing it? Because they don't want to fucking do it, buddy. That's why.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. Who wants the pressure? Have you done a TV show?
I want it. No, I've had the meetings over and over, and I never want to do it for these reasons that you're bringing this shit up. I don't want to do their version of construction. I want to do my version of construction. So I don't want to be told that you got 3 hours to fucking build this house. I don't want that. That's not construction. That's not real, right? So I think anybody who does want to do it, they're not in it for the love of the construction. They're in it for the love of the dollar.
I'm in it for the love of the construction, and I do it because I see the opportunities. I see the opportunities. The first time that camera zoomed straight onto the jigsaw, and started showing that tool, a light went off.
When did you do it? How many years did you do it for?
I'm still doing it now, mate.
You're still doing it now? Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
What's the show?
Fuck yeah.
What's the show called?
Hang on, I got to get ready. The only way I can say the show we're doing at the moment is I've got to duck the chin. Kotoisa. It's the only way I can pronounce the fucking show. I can't even tell people what fucking show we do now because I don't speak the language. The show we're doing now is Helsinki based, which is better for the crews, for our guys and stuff, because you know, like when we're doing the other one, we're all over the countryside, mate. You know, like 3-4 hours. You know, so and it's a terrible shame to be stuck out in the forest with the boys, and you know, and we work away, and then we have to have saunas and drink beers and have a good old laugh and barbecues and stuff, and oh, it's hard. It's hard. No, that was the best part, mate. You know, hanging out with the boys. You know,
the team.
And now with you know a lot of you know they're coming through having kids and stuff, and you want to be home in the evenings and stuff, and the whole evolution of the building industry as well, Manny. You know, like in my day, if I rang the boss up at 6:30 in the morning and said my kid was a little bit crook, mate, well, do you want your fucking job or not?
Yeah.
Now, in like we've had guys that have had, you know, I mean, Jesus, when did building become civilized, Manny? When did builders become civilized creatures? When did they start dressing neatly, for fuck's sake, you know? Like builders were all the animals, you know? When you left school, you became a carpenter because you couldn't do anything else, you know, right? And then now I'm a social worker, I'm a fucking
therapist,
caretaker, a babysitter,
marriage counselor, parking meter, valet.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, Villia is probably the most beautiful, realistic boss I've ever worked in my life. She could get a phone call that could completely fuck 3 days of scheduling, and she'll just go, yeah, that's okay. No worries, mate.
We'll figure it out.
And then it'll just trickle down to sorting all that shit out and everything, you know? And what is it to call yourself a carpenter? What do you need to be able to do to call yourself we'll start with a carpenter?
The will to learn.
In Australia, the test for me to be a carpenter was go and put a hole in that wall and swing a door. Number one, you have to know structure. You have to know whether it's a load-bearing wall or a non-load-bearing wall.
Yeah.
If it is a load-bearing wall, you need to know where the point loads above it are coming from.
Yep, and where they're going.
If it's brickwork on the outside, you need to deal with that situation as well. And then you need to worry about electrical and any other services that are in the wall. Then once you make the door frame in Australia, all of our door frames come pre-milled, but they don't come pre-cut. Okay. So you've actually got to house your head, cut your stills the right size, hinges, match them to the door, drill the lock, back the edge of the door off of the face so it closes in nice. Your nice 3 mil margin, 2.5, whatever you want to say. Get it all going, and then trim it all off with your architrave. That is the test for a carpenter. If you can do that, to me, you're a carpenter, right? Because when you go to school as a carpenter, I'm standing beside guys that work construction. All they do is put up safety handrails and cover penetrations and hold a staff for a surveyor.
Yeah.
Finish their time, they're a carpenter. The guy on the other side of you, all he does is hang windows and doors, mate, all day. He's done it for 4 years. That's all he does. He's a carpenter. Another guy, he just puts the fascia boards around the roof and does the eaves. And that's his job. He's a carpenter. You got guys that stand frames, do trusses roofs. Wouldn't be able to cut a roof in.
No.
Wouldn't even know how to start to cut a roof in. They're a carpenter. Guys that do stairs. What does it take to call yourself a carpenter? Then you start moving in. What does it take to call yourself a builder? Because to me, a builder is someone that built. That's pretty much, the name is self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
But the majority of builders are project managers. They're salespeople. You know, you go out and look at a job, mate, you could send a salesperson out to do that. You go and start dealing with cities and planning and stuff like that, mate, office worker could do that.
Your coordinator.
You start answering emails and doing phone calls, receptionist do that. You know, a builder to me is someone that jumps on the dozer, drives it straight flat out of the tree, push that tree over, clear it out of the way, cut it up, dig it, everything, wipes the windows at the end of the job, locks the door, and everything in between that
is a builder. I'm not disagreeing with you, man. The industry's changing right before your eyes.
It is, dude. It is, dude. And you see so many of these. There's so many things in the way of tools that you need to do your job as a builder. And it ends up, you get lost in the toolage. You know, you'll end up that you'll have this fancy tool that makes the job easier, and it'll shit itself. And you'll fuck around for 2 hours trying to resource another one or get that. But you don't actually need that tool to start off with.
No.
You could do it with a handsaw, you know? And then you start playing with products that need a specific fixing. They need that stainless steel cutting head with the fin, with the mushroom head, for blah. And if you don't have that, you can't finish the process. And you can't deal with the resources around you and pick up a plasterboard screw and use that.
No.
And hold your head up high. Because if you fuck up on the job, all of your gang that's worth their salt will see that fuck up. And you are only as good as that last fuck up.
Yep.
So it's a very, very interesting process of being part of a gang, understanding that if you go on the piss the night before a concrete pour and you turn up hungover like a dog and you can't perform like a trained SEAL on the rake and spread the concrete, you're going to make my job on the screed a killer, and I'm going to turn around and chew you another fucking asshole, mate, or I'm going to kick you off the slab.
But you can't do that today to anybody. You're not supposed to do that to anybody.
That was the way I was trained, man.
No, listen, I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's wrong. I'm saying the chewing is correct. Like letting people know that the fuckery happened and the reason why it happened, and this is how we're gonna fix it. That's correct. Being eggshells around this bullshit is incorrect. It doesn't advance construction. It doesn't advance building. And it doesn't advance anybody who in the trades. Doesn't matter if it's carpenter, plumber, roofer, foundation. It doesn't matter. You have to be honest with the reaction of failure. Simple as that.
Yeah. And you have to understand that for every consequence, there's either a positive or a negative sub-consequence.
Yes.
And that if you train yourself up to do a certain task, the next process is to teach or have someone else with you to speed that process up, and with the ultimate goal of letting them take over that process, right? Because you can't do everything. You can't do everything, mate. I don't do everything.
I don't want to do everything, man.
I don't want to do everything, mate. You know, like it starts off with, you start off as your gorilla. You know, you start off with humping shit, mate. You're a gorilla.
Yeah.
Get me this, get me 20 of those, 100 of these, 50 of those.
Yeah.
Gorilla. Then you move into being a beaver, okay? You start cutting shit, you know? You start moving into that realm of, if I say 5'6", 564 is no fucking good. If I say I want something about 750, that could mean a meter.
Yeah.
You know? And then you start moving into a trained seal. And a trained seal will do that task every fucking day. But he must have fish. And my fish is the ego.
Yeah.
If you get someone above you, below you, look at you and you go, fuck, that's good. Fuck, that's tidy work. You know? That feeds the, there's nothing wrong with ego. Ego is not a good, ego is not a bad word. Attitude
is a bad.
Negative attitude is the more bad than the ego. The ego drives you, you know? The ego is like, oh man, if I get this done, I'm going to feel so fucking happy with myself, man, you know? If I'm working for a boss, I want to impress that boss. I want that boss to be able to hand the money out with a fucking, you know, I never hold my hand out for money. You know, never hold your hand out for money. I hate asking for money. I just think it cheapens the whole fucking thing. I understand it's a necessary fact. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti fucking money. But
you're part of the transaction process, man. You look at it like I delivered and I did work, that here's the compensation. This is just, I did what I said I was going to do. Now you need to do what you said you were going to do. So we don't need to talk about this, right?
Absolutely. And the whole idea of working for someone for a week, for 5 days, on the freakish chance they've got money on the Friday to pay you, you know, but they won't give you the money up front. Oh, so you're asking me to be your bank for a week with my skills and labor and my energy to push the crew for excellence on the freakish chance that you'll pay us all at the end of the week. And I've had a guy, a boss man, that I was running his crew, and he was going on holiday on the Friday, and he paid us on the Thursday, but he left that last Friday money out because he never paid anybody for work he didn't do. And I said, mate, what are you fucking doing? Meanwhile, I'm rebuilding a motor in my truck, and I need that money. And there's so many of us that live hand to mouth through whatever terms and conditions they are. You know, like everybody's got shit going on in their life. You must respect that. You must know the people and stuff. And he's like, I don't fucking pay people fucking, you know. I mean, I said, mate, don't make a fucking habit of going away on a fucking Thursday then.
Simple as that.
You know, you got to look after the crew. Not one of our people that works for us gets paid the award wage. I always pay more. Now, if I pay you more and I ask you for something and you start fucking whinging, why? Why are you fucking whinging? You know that we respect you. We give you the time off when you need the time off. We've got no problem letting you use the trucks to go home, or, you know, pick shit up or that shit. We're incredibly fucking flexible. And that's where that 100% good, man. When we got that last day of the film shoot, we've got to all get in and do that 12-hour day. Of course, we'll pay you the overtime and whatever we need. You know, we have 2-3 times a year, we all get together and have saunas and drinks and put on a good feed and stuff and show the love and appreciation. That's when we want the 100, when it's needed, you know. Leave a little bit in the bag to give us when we really need it, you know, because you can't work everybody like a dog all the time. You know, when you see the guys, and I've worked in road crews, when you see 15 guys standing on the side of the road and they're doing nothing, all right, and everything, and you drive past and you think, look at those fucking stupid pricks fucking air. No. They're there for when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
When the asphalt truck turns up, it's dumped half its fucking load in the spreader, then the spreader shits itself. And you got to empty that fucking carcass out, mate. That's when you need the 15 guys. And if you don't have them there, you've just caused $50,000 worth of fucking damage. So, you know, there's a big sliding scale of production, resources, dealing with it. It's just beautiful. I love it. It's like a fucking orchestra.
But that's the team that you build, man. You build that team.
Yeah.
You look for those players. You look for those players to be a part of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And anybody who doesn't see it, they're going to miss out on an opportunity. Several opportunities they'll miss out on.
And you got to be able to perform like a trained SEAL under any conditions, man. I know every excuse in the book. I know every different fucking trick and toy and ploy. If you're late for work, mate, you know, all I ask is a decent excuse. Come up with a decent fucking story. You know, my favorite, which I use all the time, if I'm ever late, pardon me, I was weeping blood from my anus.
That's a good one. I'll give you that. Don't worry. Just get back in line.
It stops all of the conversation, Matty. You know, don't let it happen again. You'll never get that. You'll never get that after that. You know, you'll never get. Oh, I've probably had that's the third time this week. Yeah, I've had that.
Dave, man, absolute pleasure having you on the show. I don't want to keep you much longer, but I can continue talking to you, and I got to meet you in person one day, man. Thank you so much.
Dude, look, I'm sorry I put it off, mate, because...
No, don't apologize, man.
How I feel about the construction industry in this life, it all depends what fucking day you get me on.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
I get up, down, sideways, fucking. I've been through so many different things with this construction life, and my story is that I met a lovely lady there in Finland, and we got married, and we had 2 kids, and then she ended up getting cancer, and I was going to work, going to the hospice with her, and then she passed away, and I was left in a foreign land as a hard fucking animal with 2 fucking kids, trying to support myself. Had to get an au pair into the house to look after and help, and so I know the hardship, man. I know the battles of realistic life, and I don't ask communication.
Yeah,
you know, just tell people what's going on, and nothing's a problem. Nothing is a problem. But there is things that need to be done, you know?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're all right, brother.
I'm not letting you go just yet. I want you to answer these 12 questions, man. So, Dave Myers from Finnralia. Finnralia?
Yeah. You got it, buddy.
You can email him at david@finnralia.fi on IG.
Don't worry about fucking emailing me, man. Just have a look at the Instagram and just love the shit. That's all I care.
Just love it. Just watch it. Listen to him, man. He's not always on camera, but you hear his voice. He's definitely present there under Finnralia there. 12 questions. What's your favorite construction word or phrase?
Construction. Favorite construction.
Word or phrase.
Do whatever you want.
Least favorite tool.
Least favorite tool. The wrong tool.
That's a good one. That's a good one for the right time. Yeah, okay, I like that. What do you miss from your childhood?
Being able to shit me pants and get away with it.
I fucking love that one.
And it not being awkward. You know, that awkward bit, the whole awkwardness of it nowadays, you know?
What construction sound do you love?
I love it when I'm using a jackhammer, but I hate it when someone else is using a jackhammer.
What's your favorite beverage?
Anything that's free.
What turns you on and what turns you off in construction?
Doing a good, mate, what turns me on is absolute tears of joy of doing a good job. Of doing a job, and it doesn't matter what it is. I love it when someone looks at something that you've done and go, how the fuck did you do that? and that's what you got to have. You got to have that. All right, next one.
What's the opposite? What turns you off?
It's the complete opposite of that.
That's it.
Why the fuck did you do it that way?
That way.
You know?
It could have been done.
I've made it. Some may say I've made a couple of mistakes. I've made a few, buddy. I've made a few.
Favorite curse word?
For fuck's sake.
Is it never pluralized? No. Fuck's sakes? No, fuck's sake. Could be pluralized.
Yeah, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, see, I'm not educated, but thank you for that one, man.
No, just curious. I'm just curious. It depends on the situation and how many people are there. There's more than one. Favorite vehicle, any mode of transportation?
Well, I got a pretty good arsenal of vehicles at the moment, but my favorite vehicle, my favorite work truck, it just has to be four-wheel drive. It has to have low range. It has to have 3.5 ton capacity of towing, and which is ideally an F350 four-wheel drive twin cab, you know.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt one day?
Oh, definitely gigolo, mate. You know,
get back into that.
Getting paid to fuck things up or fuck things up, dude. What else could you ask for?
What profession would you not like to do?
What profession would I not like to do? Electrical, man. I can't handle wearing dresses. They just don't suit me.
Last question. If heaven, wearing dresses, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
Can you fix me fucking gates for me, Dave?
Dave, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and it was well worth the wait. I know I've been hounding you to get on there, but I had a feeling it was going to become like this, and that's the way. And I can't wait to have you back on. And please bring the missus, you know, so she can set you right. Yeah,
dude, you're going to have one with just Villia.
Yeah,
all right. And for all these powerful women and stuff and everything, she was shit all over you, man. Because if she control me,
the world is at her doorstep at that point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know?
Awesome, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Go enjoy your evening. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
And like I said, mate, first and foremost to all our brothers and sisters in the construction industry. Over and out, guys.
I salute you. Thank you. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it, man.
That was You're right, Manny.
Thank you so much, man.
Mate. You keep up this good work, man. That's good. It's good that you've found this little niche where you can, you know, keep yourself entertained and go through. And the sheer diversity of the whole topics that you're covering, it's really necessary. As far as the younger generation, guys, us old guys, we just got to give them a little bit more leeway, man. Just man. Be patient with them and treat them. And the most important thing I've ever learned from an old alcoholic dude that I used to know was, we're all different, Dave. We're all different.
Yeah.
And you can't think from what you know that people know that, because they don't know.
There's some gems in there, man. We know there's some gems in there. We just got to be patient for it, man.
And treat people with love and respect,
That's
mate.
All
you know, and
it's
not that hard to be nice. It's fucking hard work being a prick. It really is.
It is.
It sucks so much energy out of you and stuff. And it's the key thing I have. If you're going to tell someone they've done a bad job, at least tell them 3 to 5 good things that they've fucking done.
Yeah.
And it's best to do that before you tell them the bad things, and never hit anybody with more than 1 or 2 bad things that they've done at a time. Because for a conscientious man like myself, it crushes us, man.
Of course.
I'm already fucked with one, you know? But good on you, Manny.
Thank
that
you,
was
sir.
good, man.
Thank you, man. Pleasure, pleasure. We'll meet in person one day. I guarantee you it, man.
That's the plan. I want to fly over and come and see that.
I want to come to you guys, man. I've been to Estonia. I love Estonia, so I want to come to you guys, man.
Finland's good.
Yeah.
Now I came to Finland. People ask me why did I go to Ireland? Why did you come to Ireland? I went to Ireland to go to see why they were all running away. Because the biggest thing Ireland exports is Irish people, right?
Yeah.
And I come to Finland to see where caveman come from.
Where it all started.
And the cave is still open, Manny, and they're still popping out. About 3 a day, but 2 of them generally go back into the cave in the evening. Because they're cave people, man. You know?
I love it, man. Thanks, Dave. Thank you so much.
You're all right,
man.
brother.
All
Take
right,
it easy,
we'll talk
mate.
soon, man. Take care so much.
Cheers, man.
All the best. Ciao.
Bye. Yeah, good on to all your crew in there, mate.